To me, resilience for Africa is an issue of survival.
The African situation is really unique. The rate Africa cities are growing and urbanization it's massive, but it's greatly informal. The last count in Accra, we have over 246 informal settlements.
The rate at which people are moving into urban centers in Africa, I think, is something that is beyond the frame of reference for city management teams in the global north. 75% of the world's population in 2050 living in cities, and many of the African cities that people are going to live in have yet to be built.
How do we really ensure sustainability and resilience within the context of the structures of development that we are facing?
The way that we think about building cities is different in an African context from the way North America or Western Europe thinks about building cities. They are informal, they are very dynamic, and they take place in rapidly changing conditions.
This, coupled with the issue of climate change and globalization, will have a tremendous impact on the city's growth and its sustainability. So while our cities are growing, but the question is, are we growing in a sustainable manner?
If there's a population of people on planet Earth who are resilient, it's surely the population of Africa. At the individual level, we have the most recent history of intractable conflicts. We've suffered from a high burden of disease, some of which are still very, very pervasive in our cities. Extreme poverty in certain cases. One can only accept that actually individual Africans are massively resilient.
Most of the time, the angle that development seems to come in is a top-down approach. Most of the settlements growing these days are bottom-up. And of course, they are growing in such a way that the city authorities do not have the space and time to kind of put in the infrastructure that we think should be in place to ensure sustainability and resilience and all.
One of the major things that Accra uses to deal with informal settlements is by forcing them out or destroying those buildings. I don't think that is the way to go. We need to look at how we can benefit from having those people there and how can we try and help them to make their lives better rather than just trying to drive them out and say, hey, move back to wherever you came from.
But there's a reliance on the informal sector. Even for the formal sectors, you would see the informal settlements grow right almost next to the formal settlement because they are offering a certain service or a certain kind of reliance and dependency. And we need to really appreciate and understand that reliance and that connectivity so that we can all kind of push ahead together.